All right. So before I proceed, I would like to thank Mr. Tera for this wonderful opportunity and thank Tera-Tech in general for this opportunity to share my knowledge. For those of you who know me, I don't always talk like I think this is one of my first moments with tech people like us. So without wasting much time, I think this presentation is supposed to be 25 minutes and I have quite a lot to say, but I'll try to summarize it as much. So about me, Ntunyu Serge, like you all have heard, yeah, a developer. I'm a Microsoft Office. That means maybe in the course of the presentation, you're going to know more about that. I'm equally a video editor. I'm a YouTube content creator. I'm a tutor, an IT specialist, and a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. Now, talking about being a developer, web developer, and I also create mobile applications. Talking about being a specialist, I'm certified in Microsoft Office Word and Microsoft Excel. Being a video editor, well, I think most of you have seen my work in different places, but you may not have known that I was the one behind some of the videos you were seeing. The typical example is the Noediv program that is going. Most of the videos that you can see on the platforms like LinkedIn were edited by me. And the recent Bamenda Community Challenge that took place in Bamenda, I was equally the one responsible for that. And I equally edit videos. I've edited videos for different YouTube channels, not necessarily mine, talk less of the hundreds of videos I've done for my own personal channels. And talking about being a tutor, I tutor in different places. That's both online and on-site. I tutor for a non-governmental organization teaching IT-related courses, and I assist engineering students in anything related to tech. And talking about being an IT specialist, equally an IT specialist for a non-governmental organization in Bamenda. And again, I would say I was a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, but I'm no longer an ambassador right now. But there's a reason why I'm breaking all of this down. I mean, it was enough to say I'm a developer or a computer engineer, but there's a reason why I'm going to all of these details, and we're going to find out in the course of our conversation. Right up to this moment, please react if you can see him. All right, on to the next thing. Now, today we are talking about crafting your lane. So I'll try as much as possible to be very straight and direct, having in mind that we are facing maybe network issues and so on, and this is night also. So I'll just try to be quick as possible. Crafting your lane. Why does this really matter? So today we are really tackling the problem of accessing opportunities, and not only that, but making good use of those opportunities. And now, there are some opportunities that you don't come across if you don't craft your lane. And also, there are some opportunities that you cannot maximize if you don't craft your lane. I want you to have that in mind. The first thing here is preparation creates opportunities. Success rarely happens by accident. We all know that. You must get ready before the door opens. Of course, there are opportunities that somebody can bring to you. There are opportunities that you can stumble on those opportunities, right? But now, I want you to know that there are certain skill sets that you possess that will push you to explore certain opportunities. But when you don't have those skill sets, there's no way you are going to be looking in that direction, and there's no. The second thing I'll be talking about is the readiness to turn. I want us to have in mind that when opportunity shows up, only prepared people can maximize it, whether you like it or not. If an opportunity shows up and you're not prepared, there's no way you're going to make the most out of that opportunity. All right. The majority of us here in this session are from the tech background. Now, from now henceforth, I'll just be giving a series of advice that has helped me in my tech journey. I mean, I'm still growing, but I believe I can inspire somebody to even get more better than where I am. So, that lots of things that I've encountered in my tech journey that has really shaped me, and for most of them, I wish I knew them earlier. And I equally want to highlight the fact that I'm saying this especially to people who are taking tech as something that they want to make a living out of it. Maybe they want to make they want to make mama proud. I mean, you want to make money because personally, I believe that money solves a lot of problems. So we should first of all keep passion aside and see how to tackle that. All right. So now, in your tech journey, explore tech just beyond coding. This is advice I always give, especially to year one students in the university or people that are just entering tech. For the most part, they always get overwhelmed when they see one or two people on the back end developer, I'm a DevOps engineer. I mean, you just hear terms like big names, and then you try to even look at the path, how they got there. You feel like you can do it. The moment you watch one or two YouTube videos or one or two tutorials, you feel so discouraged because it seems so difficult. But now there's more to coding than there's more to tech than just the coding. Tech is wide, it is not just about software development. There are other skills to that matter in tech. Look at UI UX design. I mean, these are basic things that you can do for a start before getting to where you want to be. And again, remember I'm saying all of this. Oh, I'm sorry, please, are you able getting me? I've seen a message from someone. All right. So I was saying I'm of tech, especially for those who really want to make ends meet, maybe while you're during your university journey and so on. I mean, you want to be a back-end developer, you want to be a mobile application developer. It requires a lot of work, it requires a lot of effort, right? But at the same time, you need to survive. So the basic things that you don't need to underlook while trying to be what you want to be in tech. And some of these things I've highlighted here, but trust me, there's more to that. Now, let me share a small story about myself. Entering the university, I was one of those people that was this a moment, let me rectify something. I'll be back in. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, I equally forgot to mention that I'm a father of 6 children, so it's really challenging here. Okay, that was just a joke though. So, what I was saying is, you need to learn basic things that will keep you surviving. Okay, I was sharing my story. Entering university, I mean, I saw lots of great people, and the most painful part of it is that most of these great people are your age mates. Most of these great people are your classmates. Now, how do you start? Imagine going to school and your own classmate is already working for a remote company, but yet you're learning HTML and CSS. That is really, really it's disturbing, right? But now, this is where these soft skills, these other let me put it, low skills come into place. But trust me, there are people who focus just on this thing and make a whole living out of it. Maybe graphic design, video editing, and so on. Now, what did I do? I mean, I love web development and so on. But I started from something very basic, Microsoft Word. Now, what about Microsoft Word? I mean, this is something that almost everybody has. If you have a laptop here, I believe you have my. What was I doing? While going to school, I was getting, I call it typing gigs. So there are people that maybe have done their assignments, especially from these schools like NSET, ENS, and so on. They write it and then they want to type and submit. Some of them are teachers, then they have exams that they set for students, so they have to type this exam. But it worst is when it comes to mathematical equations. You cannot need to type mathematical equations for students. So these are things that I was doing. I mean, if you bring this in front of any tech person, it's going to look very minimal. But this sustained me. I was typing this stuff for people while going to school and I was getting paid. These are small things I was doing to make a living as time was going on. But I was building my other skills, but I was able to take care of myself. As time was going on, I've never been interested in video editing. I've never been interested in graphic design and so on. But all of a sudden, I started getting into other things. Now, I'll not go right deep into all the details of that, but I'll just like people to know something. A multi-skilled person stands out instantly, and no one can compete with your exact combination of skills. So, you can know HTML, you can know video editing, you can know graphic design. They sound very basic, but those three skills, another knows Flutter, can know just that Flutter. And you can use just your three skills as your own niche to do something crazy and to come up with something very big for yourself. I'm not a motivational speaker and I'm not really here to motivate anybody. I personally don't like all these motivational things, but these are things that have worked for me. So I believe it's going to work for at least one person here listening to me. And there's something that I'll always keep saying: learn everything while you can, especially for still in university. Learn everything while you can. No, I like web development. When I do it, it's easier. This is the moment where you need to be uncomfortable with yourself and learn anything learnable. Because there's going to come a time when you will not be able to learn. You will not have the freedom or the time to learn anything that you're learning now. At that time, basically, you will just be trying to survive, right? And who knows, you'll be going into the shanty and things like that. Do you think you are going to have the time to learn those things? No. But if you take some of these things serious, you learn now, it's going to help you. Okay, next slide. Now, some key things to consider in your journey. Volunteer. If for anyone who knows me here, you know I've volunteered in a lot of organizations, and it's not only tech organizations, other basic organizations that you know. If you want to talk about orphanage visits and things like that, get involved. Building a career in tech does not mean that everything around you should be tech. There's a way that you as a tech person, you can survive in every environment. Volunteering, I don't need to emphasize on the very important that you volunteer when you have the opportunity. Now, let me tell you all something very important. Most of the times, especially after graduating, you want to apply for a job. They're saying they need 2 years of experience, 3 years of experience. But you look at yourself, the only experience you have is your 2 months internship that you did. I mean, how are you going to cook up 2 years of experience if you don't volunteer? And I know all of us are dreaming big that we are going to have jobs that are going to be paying us 500. But the truth is, we need to understand our environment. We need to understand our settings where we are. If you're a web developer, of course, you are waiting for that day that you're going to be paying you $1,000 for a website. But know that you're in Cameroon and somebody will be reluctant to pay you 50,000 francs for a website. These are opportunities that no matter how bad it is, you must sacrifice just for the sake of that experience and something to show. I mean, if you don't do it, what are you going to show to that client that is going to give you $1,000 for a website? So these are one of the most challenging moments of your life, just because of money, but just because you need something in return that will definitely bring you money. Volunteering, the only difference between volunteering and a job is that you are not paid during volunteering, and that is very, very important. The next thing is attending tech related events. Now, most of us go to tech events probably because of the food, like me as well, and maybe t-shirts. I mean, that's good, but then there's something about tech events that you need to know. Attending most of those events, there's a lot you're going to learn. And even if you don't learn, you have learned something from that event. Why? Because going to most of those events, you see younger people or people of your age doing me, you'll be motivated to do something about your own life or to work harder, right? The next thing I would like to talk about is certifications. This is very, very, very important. Certifications has helped me a lot in different aspects. And trust me, I've had certifications in different fields. In different fields. Is it web development? I have certifications. All those things that you saw about me, I have certifications in most of them. Now, these are things that will make you to stand out if you're applying or you are trying to attack an opportunity. Things out. I mean, I don't need to overemphasize on this, but if I'm emphasizing this because I've tried it and I've seen how important it is. There are certain opportunities I was able to unlock right from my second year of university just because of certifications. Trust me, well, we'll see that in the next slide that is coming. The most important thing is to document your journey. So from the current slide, oh, I'm sorry about. From the current slide, you can see a screenshot of a LinkedIn post. That's basically the kind of LinkedIn post I do about maybe an event I attended or maybe a milestone I achieved and so on. Documenting your journey is very, very important. Just what they can see, not what they hear. They don't just hear that, no, this guy is a dangerous developer. No, this guy is good at this. They see it. They want to see before they're able to do something about you, maybe engage with you. Now, a typical example how this has helped me is in January, I got a job to work for a non-governmental organization, as I mentioned earlier. Now, in applying for this job, I, of course, I submitted my CV and a link to my LinkedIn profile. Now, the feedback I got was when the director of this organization had to go through the applications. The moment he came through mine, I mean, I'm not bold, I'm highlighting the importance of this documentation that you have to do. When he came to my profile, the moment he went to my LinkedIn page, he was not bothered about continuing to review the other applications. That is, I was the one. This is the right person they need for this company or for this organization. And so that is how I was called for the interview and everything. Crazy enough, if you go through my profile, the type of things I document are not crazy or fancy certifications. They're basic things. For example, this screenshot you see me talking here, this is a GDG event. I mean, this is an event that many people esteem so much back in here in Bamenda, right? But now, this is me on stage holding the microphone talking. The first impression that will come to your mind is I'm probably giving a talk in a tech event. It means I know a lot. But what was I doing in this particular event? Of course, I was part of the organizing team, but I was in charge of the games. You see the people playing, standing behind me, are the people who were playing the games. I was not doing anything technical. I was rather controlling games. So you see how very basic things really matter. But now I was able to document it well and showcase it on my portfolio. Now, I equally want to highlight that things like LinkedIn, I'm not, does not know LinkedIn, so I'll not be asking like, do you know LinkedIn and so on. So there's something that is very important that you need to know. This is a professional space, and forget about all the jokes that people make online that people attend a small event, they will go and write paragraphs on LinkedIn. Truth be told, those things pay. Yeah, they pay. There's no scholarship that you're applying today that, I mean, let's say a tech related something or scholarship. There's nothing that you're applying for today that you're not going to see a LinkedIn link there. Most of them you see it. They really want to see the profession. I mean, in most applications, when they're asking for a link, there's no way you ever see me. I share Facebook just rarely because I don't even use rarely, but I don't even use Facebook that much. But you see LinkedIn, this is what whoever is hiring you or that person, this person is concerned, right? They want to see the professional aspect of you. So how you document the little events or the little milestones you achieve really matters. So now it is not about the big things you have achieved. Start small, small. Anything you're able to do, document it. Have a portfolio, have a CV. It is terrible if you're in this call right now, even if you're in year one or whatever. It is terrible if you don't have a CV. That is documenting who you are. How are you going to be able to unlock some of those opportunities when they come? These are some of the things that you need to take into consideration. Okay, now there are other important things that people ignore. Okay, let's talk about mentorship a bit. Having someone who knows and ensures you are making progress, someone you can equally learn from. That's basically what mentorship is about. And there's something that people don't really get about mentorship. For example, I can be into tech and my mentor is a business expert. Yes, it is very possible, but of course, it is nice to have a tech mentor, right? What is the role of a mentor maybe in your journey? You just need somebody to be accountable to. You tell this person that maybe by March 2026, I want to be able to do this. For example, currently I have somebody that I'm accountable to that subscribers by March or by this and so on. Like anything that you're doing, then this person maybe is giving you constant follow up. This person can scream at you. This person can discipline you. I mean, this person can cause you to work harder. That's basically what mentorship is all about, right? It's not necessarily about assigning tasks that do this. Are you able to do? No, no, no. That's not what mentorship is all about. But of course, it is also beautiful to assign tasks to your mentee. But I just want us to have this idea that you should have somebody that you're looking up to that person, and the person is also monitoring you and making sure that you're in track with what you're doing, right? The next thing now, networking. Networking is very, very important. This is where they are hidden. The big deals that you want to get in future, they are hidden. There are things that you will never know until someone tells you. How will you ever meet that person who is going to tell you that trick or secret or even give you that $1,000 deal? It is through networking. And I used to be somebody that, well, I don't really like talking to people that much, but it just happens that in the tech space, if you want to be on your own, you suffer. That's just the truth. You need to be able to interact with people. I mean, when you go for events, even if you don't learn something, just try to mingle with somebody that you can learn something from. And there's one common thing that happens when we network during events, right? It is that maybe you get the person it is viewers. I mean, there is still no problem in that. The whole point here is at some point the person knows what you're capable of doing, and you are also able to know what that person does. And one day you can ask the person for certain help, and the person is going to offer that help, or the person can eventually bring a deal to you based on what you post. I'll not talk much about that. I think I have a problem with time management, but it is well. Now, one thing I would like to talk about is attacking opportunities fully. Okay, I've just received a message from Tera that you can start dropping your questions. If at all you have questions in the comment section, you'll be opportunities fully. Trust me, half effort give half results. That's a fact. Half effort give half results. Let me give an example. A typical example: if you have applied for a scholarship here before, you know what it means to complete an application. I mean, it is crazy. And most of the times, we want to apply for something. When you just see that they need a 500-word essay, you just leave you the thing. Those are things that really matter. Those are the little things that matter, and those are the little things that can be blocking you from unlocking opportunity that is going to change your life. If you've made up your mind that you want to do this, or you want to attack this job application or this particular opportunity, take it from start to the end and then be rejected at the end, than that you take it and then you give up along the way. This is very, very important. Half effort gives half result. Now, like every motivational speaker will say, consistency is very matter. It's very important. I'm sorry about that. Consistency matters a lot. But now, how do you stay consistent? According to me, you have to set realistic goals and work towards them. Set realistic goals and work towards them. Realistic. I believe all of us here have heard about SMART goals. In case you've not heard about SMART goals, you should do your research about it and know more about it. It's something to really know and implement. I'll use my YouTube journey as an example. You just join YouTube today, you see people having millions of followers, and you say, no, in the next 2 months, I'm going to have 20,000 followers. That's crazy and stupid. Because in every journey, there are challenges. So always try to set realistic goals for yourself and try to see that you're attaining those goals. It is very important. And another thing that I would really like to emphasize here is prayers. They always say, pray, it works. Whether I like it or not, it works. And there's something that I learned: God multiplies to one and above and not to zero. Meaning you have to put in an effort, because when His blessing comes, He has to multiply the efforts that you're putting in. But now, if you're just sitting down and maybe you're praying, of course, nothing is going to happen. No opportunity is just going to appear for you to walk into. You have to really, really, really work hard. Well, I may have been too fast. I have lots of stories to really share about my own personal journey, but given the fact that this is a 25-minute session, I think I'm going to be wrapping up here. Again, I would like to highlight the fact that we have to stay consistent. Identify your niche, where you think you want to excel in tech. And that niche should not block you from exploring other things in tech. It must not necessarily be tech. Explore other options. Document some of the milestones you achieve in these things. Even if you're a DevOps engineer or a software engineer, these things that you're learning or you've been able to do, document them. These are basic things that will cause you to stand out. If you go for a job application and you're an expert in mobile application development, you have another person that is an expert in mobile application development, but you have skills like maybe you've worked for another organization, maybe in events planning, and you have it documented to say, no, this guy is really cool. He does not only have these skills, but he might be resourceful in this particular aspect. These are small things that make you to stand out or to access opportunities that not everybody is going to access. And document your milestones. Very, very important, please. I really wish we had more time, but it is what it is. Any questions? And in case you don't have questions, feel free to rate how much I stammered during this conversation, because I'm not good at this. But I believe you learned something. I'm very open to questions right now. Thank you.
Good evening to everyone, and thank you so much, Mrs. Serge, for this session. Although I joined late, so please, I wish to ask if the session was recorded so that some of us can have access to it.
From my end, I wasn't recording this session. I don't know if Mr. Tera was doing that, but what we have, I have the slides that I can share later. And of course, you can reach out to me if you have any other questions.
All right, thank you so much.
welcome.
So yes, about the program, Mr. Serge has said, he would send in his slides. Yes, the session was being recorded. We only hope that well, whatever happens, let it be in one piece. But that aside, I think the question that was asked earlier, directed to Mr. Serge was, there are several persons who are very much interested in tech, but right now they're not fully into it. So they are maybe in the health sector or agriculture or finance or some other thing. So talking about finding a niche or specialization in tech, or more or less just trying out everything. For those who are not fully into tech, what is the best way for, or what's the best path for them? Should they look into leaving what they're doing completely and get into tech, or is there a way to merge both for the benefit of both sides?
Oh, all right. Okay, so, first things first, I believe if you are into something other than tech, it's because that is your niche. So rather, I think you're trying to use tech maybe to access more opportunities that's in line with your niche. And that's a very, very beautiful aspect. For example, Mr. Tera mentioned health, right? I know a lot of people who are doing so well in the tech space who are not necessarily tech people. They are from the health sector. Now, how do you find yourself in such a position? It is very simple. Look around. There are lots of events going on. Aside events, there are hackathons. I don't know. I always preach this to people, but I don't know if I preach this to the wrong audience. But I believe this is the right audience for this. So many people get overwhelmed by these hackathons that are going on. You see, maybe they're talking about an hackathon coming up. You look at yourself. Maybe you're from HICM. You look at yourself. Maybe you're doing MLS or you're doing medicine in general. You're from the health background. No, you don't have to distinguish yourself from opportunities like this. Now you can step in. There's something called a team. A team is made up of different people. You can excel in tech just by giving medical. And while working with tech people, there are so many other things that you can learn during the process. I've seen lots of people that are doing so well in tech, especially in the development aspect, but they're coming from the from the health background. What you're currently doing does not in any way stop you from doing tech. And that's the beautiful thing about tech. Tech does not need maybe a physical location like let's say like the health field where you must go to a medicine school and so on. With tech, just your machine with the right guidance and the internet, you're good to go. Connect with the right people. Your ideas will always be welcome to building these maybe health solutions, but they don't really understand the health concepts. Of course, you can step in. Your ideas alone, they're really going to mean a lot. Just imagine you win that, your team wins that hackathon, and you have to represent, your team has to represent maybe the country, or you are going to the next level, and you find yourself traveling and so on. Did you come from NAPI, computer engineering? No, but you just found yourself with the right people. So what you're doing does not stop you in any way. A typical example is my sister. Maybe many of you will know her, Lampo Marie Claire. She's not a tech person per se. She's from HICM, but she's excelling in tech. Why? Because she was able to mingle the right people, participated, blending it with her niche, and she's doing so well. So I think that's something you should consider. Any other question, please? Or was I able to answer that question correctly? And also, the floor is open to suggestions.
Well, just like Sir Serge said, your current career path or um, your current direction to poke into to have a bit of taste of what tech is all about and actually explore it to its fullest without having bothering about whether you are stopping what you're doing or not. You can incorporate all of them. There's a way tech blends with everything you get to do. I believe we'll take one last question and then we'll end the session. Any other questions you have can be sent to the group. And well, if you go through the slides later on, you can also as well drop in any questions to our colleagues and that will be answered. I believe the last question that came in was for people who are on LinkedIn. You talked about LinkedIn and talking about showing traction, keeping traction, posting your event or your achievement and what you do. The question the question goes thus, which is what happens or how do people for people who don't actually have maybe events they attend or some achievements that they do or something really that they feel like is really significant that they can post. What should they do in that case? Should they just keep their LinkedIn profile and leave it on to the year or the century where they have something, or what should they like do?
Okay, thank you for that question. I don't mean to be sarcastic, but the reason why you don't have anything to post is because you're not doing anything. That's the truth. If you sit down and reflect, you see that you have something to post in 2 months. If you're somebody that is studying, I mean, there was something I was supposed to highlight, but because of time, I did not highlight. You have to invest in research in whatever niche you're into. In anything you're doing, you must research. And if you're actually researching in 1 or 2 weeks, even if you've not actually gained that skill yet, you will learn 1 or 2 things. Document it and post. You must not wait to get a certificate. I mean, some certificates can be gotten maybe after a long while of learning, maybe 6 months and so on. Does not mean that you should sit for 6 months and you don't post. You cannot tell me that in the whole of 2025, you've not attended any events. I mean, these are things that you're supposed to do. Get those pictures and post. People believe what they see. Oh, it is very important. People believe what they see. So it is not only about attending events, like I said, work on something and have something to show. I've seen lots of people doing things on LinkedIn. Like today, I was able to build a login form. I mean, bigger people see it and but that is what is going to help you to keep on doing it. Why being on LinkedIn, you see people posting crazy applications. If you don't do that, you will not see the need to go harder. And LinkedIn is a space where I've seen that people are supportive per se. Stuff that I'm talking about, just the basic stuff. There'll be somebody that is going to like it, or even come and write a paragraph in your comment section motivating you, and you see that you have to do more. Okay, so don't wait to get the idea here is learn something. You can even set a target for yourself, even if it's 2 times a month now. You cannot say in a month you've not learned something. Just try to learn something and see how you can implement it. And talking about certifications, there are paid certifications and there are free certifications. There's a lot that you already know that you can explore free certifications and just bombard your LinkedIn profile. It is very important. You see the experience section on LinkedIn. That is a key where they're known about. It is very, very important. Just visit anybody's experience section and see what employers are actually looking for. That's why you realize that your 2 months internship, your 3 months internship is nothing. It's going to push you to volunteer, do things, and include it in your profile, right? So, like I said, don't rely only on certifications to get your profile or your LinkedIn account active. And if it has been dormant for a long while, you have yourself to blame. I'm saying it without blinking. It's because you've not been working. Yeah. Or maybe that a good number of times that I equally have something that I'm not posting. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also, it's a pleasure. It was wonderful to have every other person who joined. We have Melissa, we have Caleb, we have Alvin, we have Mariette, we have Captain Nestor, there's Patrick. It was wonderful to have all of you for today's session. I hope you were all impacted by today's session. And obviously, it's the first session, and we are going from heights to heights, and we're keeping a rendezvous for next Monday again, and we'll have another speaker to come on board and share with you and give you more insight on different topics, on diverse topics. So if you have any more questions, any insights, questions for us, for Tera-Tech, for the speakers, Serge, you can drop that in the group or you inbox and you ask, and it will be clarified. Thank you so much more of your time. It was a wonderful night. It's a wonderful session, and I hope you all have a blessed night and good night.
Just one more thing before everyone goes. You mentioned about mentorship earlier, and just in case you just join the WhatsApp group and you're like, "What is this? What is this?" Tera-Tech company is a place I think I can fully recommend. I've worked with Mr. Terra for on an exciting project for a couple of months some time ago. And trust me, these are one of the tech gurus that you don't see them in public. They don't talk, but they're killing a lot in the background. So if you're somebody that is into tech or wants to be into tech, and maybe you're looking for mentorship, Mr. Terra is the right person for you, or Tera-Tech and his team is the right place for you to be. So, just so you know, I was just invited to give this session, and I can fully recommend them when it comes to what they do in tech. All right. So, have a blessed night, everyone.